Hey there! Today we're tackling a huge topic, the harsh reality of systemic inferiority. Let's jump right in. You've probably heard Eleanor Roosevelt's famous quote, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Sounds super empowering, right? But honestly, we gotta ask ourselves, is she actually right about that? Well, consider the spotlight effect. It's that cognitive bias where we assume everyone is judging our every mistake. But what if that feeling of inadequacy isn't just in your head? What if feeling inferior literally isn't a choice? Actually, our neurobiology and implicit biases can lock in negative self-beliefs totally unconsciously, zero consent required. Like for trauma survivors, deep shame is a physical reaction. It completely bypasses logic and voluntary consent entirely. And outside our brains, systemic forces, institutions, and algorithms constantly push feelings of inferiority onto us. Pierre Bourdieu called this symbolic violence. Dominant groups impose meaning so forcefully that our consent is practically coerced. Similarly, Claude Steele's stereotype threat shows how toxic cultural scripts literally short-circuit our willpower and our performance. Add Crenshaw's concept of intersectionality, and those overlapping systems of oppression create a massive, inescapable psychological burden. Which brings us to a massive pivot. What if the spotlight effect isn't an illusion? What if they are looking? We really have to separate internal cognitive bias from the incredibly real, intense scrutiny marginalized groups actually face. Reachling data actually proves that for minorities, tokenism attracts measurable social scrutiny. This hypervisibility is 100% real. And Brené Brown's research shows professional cultures often punish vulnerability. They systematically reward thick armor over genuine authenticity. This creates profound shame. Not, I did something bad, but I am bad, pushing driven people to build thicker armor. But hey, resistance is possible. As Audre Lorde noted, true self-preservation means actively rejecting the world's unfair condemnation. To build real resilience against these structural realities, we have to name our armor and reinterpret our intrinsic value. The absolute most powerful antidote to crushing internalized shame? Simply speaking it out loud to someone you really trust. Ultimately, we gotta redefine Roosevelt's maxim. True empowerment is knowing exactly on what terms you actually give your consent. Armed with this authentic resilience, how will you choose to navigate the arena entirely on your own terms?